Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you watched some NFL football this weekend. That's all I could say. Because
Wait, there was NFL football this weekend?
I didn't hear about it. First, that's news to me.
Fuck, I was watching yacht races all weekend. I don't know.
Yeah, America's Cup qualifiers, dude. I get it.
That's right.
But yes, a absolutely insane weekend of NFL football. I guess fittingly, after the super wild card weekend had some super shitty games that were just like, wow, this is the only game on right now, but I'll still watch it and probably bet on it because I'm a sucker. But no, this weekend was pretty much wall-to-wall crazy. Even the games that looked like they were going to get out of hand suddenly got back into hand and then maybe got back out of hand at the end. It was insane. But we'll get into all that. Of course, we also had a 270th edition of UFC pay-per-view with 2 title fights and just a bunch of other good stuff. So on that note, Tyler, how the hell are you?
Ronnie, I'm doing well. Like you said, just some ridiculous, just 4 ridiculous football games, all ending in walk-offs. Good. I didn't get a chance to go back and watch the rest of the fights, but good UFC fights from what I saw. Fucking Olympics are coming up. Got to be excited about that. We're like 9 days away from that. MLB actually had lengthy discussions today and will discuss again tomorrow. Fucking like, I know. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Things are actually going good in the sports world right now. But all in all, man, real good weekend. Ron, how about yourself?
Good ass weekend. Got to attend my first motocross in person, which was sick.
Oh boy.
Very entertaining. Also makes me, I wasn't going to anyway, but just confirmed we'll never get on a 450 dirt bike. These guys are freaking animals out there. But
yeah,
awesome to see it. And, obviously I've seen many of them on TV. I've never been to I know they had the big one in Anaheim or all over the place. They go to these stadiums through the whole circuit. But it's kind of weird when because you just picture the dirt bike sound like beep, beep, beep. And it is that sound, but when there's 40 of them inside of a stadium, It's very loud and awesome, and it smells like gasoline. And I will say this also, kind of sat up higher, due to cost constraints. But actually, that's the best way to watch it because you're just watching it like a video game.
You see the entire track,
the whole thing. So I got a little clip here for you. Also, pretty sweet with the flamethrowers. They didn't fire one off on that big tower that you saw on the right, but that one was the super fireball thing that was a giant one that every time it went off, it just everyone in the stadium's like, that felt good. It was just nice.
Warmed up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to Supercross again. And I was very mad about my parlay falling apart before that due to the football games. So I was like, all right, I'm disavowing betting for the day, but I'm not going to lie. When I got into Petco, I was like, can I bet on them? I can't bet on it. For the best, because I was just going to bet on Ricky Carmichael, and probably my bookie would just ban me from betting ever again.
What, you're not going to bet on one of the thousands of oddly named
the kids.
On Random or...
The kids race was
or
great.
Or something.
And there was, like I told you, and I was not making that up. There was at least 2 Wyatts. There was a Ryder. There was a Jax, Jax. As I told you, the sport is in good hands. The next generation is here. It's like NFL quarterbacks. These guys are going to be doing stuff 5 years from now that no one ever thought possible. Okay? So just watch out. The next generation is real.
In good hands. I may like in that video, by the way.
But dude, I'm sure Supercross is coming down your way. Gotta hit it up.
Supercross is fun. I've been to it. I went to one at Mesa Marin, which is weird because that's a tiny tiny
That
place
doesn't,
to
yeah,
do
it
it.
doesn't seem like big enough venue
But
for it.
but then I did go to one in Vegas as well, and that was a lot of fun.
That would be big time for sure. And maybe they do it in the Death Star now. I don't know, but
Ooh, they
big
could,
time,
yeah.
big time Supercross guy, and especially will recommend see it in person. Pretty great.
It's a lot of fun.
And if you're not super into wearing the mask, that's your place to go. Let me just say, because I was still rocking mine, but it was like, nobody gives a shit about this here. Like, okay,
That's true. All those fumes going out there, you don't got to worry. COVID's the least of your worries.
When the Temecula and Hemet and Lake Elsinore people come down, you not see a lot of masks out. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not here to judge, but I'm just saying what I saw.
Just a fact.
But it was a good time. It was a good time had by all. As we actually, let's get into a couple side pieces here. Of course, we must check in. I'll probably have to come up with a new intro for baseball. I'm thinking like, I don't know, some kind of thing with like a heart monitor, like in a hospital bed, like,
or just play yakety sax or something like that.
Well, we have a little baseball, we got a little basketball, some odds and ends. So let's fire up the side pieces real quick and check in on those.
Also, I've never thought about this until now, but I do like how you have the green bubble indicating somebody using an Android phone.
Well, I mean, there's always one. There's got to be one. But, when you're trying to hit the side piece, you can't really discriminate. Okay? It's just like, are you up? Okay, cool. I'm coming over. 15 minutes. But as I said, a couple side pieces. First of all, well, we don't have a lot of college football here. And really only the notable thing is apparently it's gone. We have lost the turnover chain. I don't know how I feel about that, dude. I know it was getting a little abused because the U has been on hard times. But I feel like you're kind of like taking away some of the swag. It's what makes it the U.
Yeah, look, I was talking to the CEO, Nick, about this before the show. Like, as much as I did like the swag chain, not the swag chain, the turnover chain, which led to the swag chain, in both senses, it was like, okay, like when you're just losing, like and losing a lot, like it loses the value. Like when you put it on and everybody's just like, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
like,
and honestly, it becomes worse when you're losing and you're still running it out because then all the other opposing fan bases just make fun of you.
Yeah, but I did also throw out the theory to you before the show: get rid of the chain. Let's get the turnover thrown.
I like that. See, and my hope is right in line with that. Like, this is only a setup for something even more swaggier. Like, chains are played out, dude. We're the U. So we're going to have, like I said, a turnover rickshaw or a throne that you are carried around on the sidelines. And every time you recover a fumble, like, I just fell on it. Boom! Get him in the throne!
At the absolute least, get like a crown or maybe like chainmail. How about turnover chainmail? Just like put them in like a suit of armor
because it took him 20 minutes to take it off. Really, dude? All right, take your pads off. Put the chainmail on. Come on, it's a photo op. We got to do it for the gram.
The turnover breastplate, just a giant piece of armor.
This thing weighs 45 pounds. But hey, the U is capable of anything. I just hope they get back to their swaggy ways. So
it
maybe
makes college football better.
As if you're coming in as the new coach, also replacing another Miami guy, maybe you do kind of want to reset a little bit. Like, hey, let's just get back to like kind of being good at football, and then we can get back to the swag. So it's a process. I get it.
Look, as long as they
you want,
as long
sex,
as they obviously they would have had
it in the turnover room.
They would have had to have gotten, permission and clearance from the chief of staff, Ed Reed, for this. So I assume he's on board. He's okay with it. So,
everything runs through him. So
of course, we all know
he's still
this.
there, still chiefing that staff.
But like college football, it's better when the U is good. But let's get back to that.
We can only hope. We can only hope. In much worse news, let's talk about baseball for a second. Tyler, you had posted these in here, so I'll let you do the rundown on the baseball stuff that we got here.
Yeah, so we did have another meeting between the owners and the Players Association today.
And
Not bad. Okay, look, they met for 2.5 hours today, which is way better than like the 7 minutes combined they've had in their other meetings. Deal not made, but that's not to be expected here. The union made a proposal, including having a couple of concessions. They did say, we'll back off of the, reducing the time for player free agency. They were trying to push for 4 or 5 years. They said, hey, we'll back off that. We'll keep it at 6 years. So, sign a guy to a rookie deal and get it for 6 years. They also said we will lower the players' cut of the shared revenue from 100 million to 30 million. So, they're making the concessions. Now it's obviously up to the owners to, come back with something. They're meeting again tomorrow. So, hey, this is progress. Better than 2 meetings in like 4 months that we've had.
Sources say there was actual eye contact made. Okay, so we're moving up.
But again, Jet passing here, being real, saying, "Hey, look, like nothing's getting solved quickly. Let's not kid ourselves here." But again, baby steps. Like we've experienced these MLB CBA negotiations before, and it's definitely nothing that ever gets solved quickly.
It is very sad and also realistic that he has to couch it with, but it didn't go backwards, right? That's a win.
Again, if you've experienced these before, you understand that that is a huge win.
That is, sadly, it is.
And then, yes, Bob Nightingale, again, this is what I had just said. So if it's coming from Bob Nightingale, it may or may not actually be true. But
the opposite of this happened, probably.
Yeah. But again, this is what they said. So, look, I see this as a win. I'm still not expecting anything to get resolved quickly. I'm still expecting there to be a delay before spring training and the regular season. But this is way better than we've gotten the last few months. So I will accept that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. With baseball, it just, you saw it there in the Jets tweet. Like, this is a win. Sadly, this is a win.
It's a win.
So that's just the way it goes. Speaking of, the opposite of wins, let's briefly talk about my beloved Lakers. Last night, afternoon, finished up the second leg of the Florida swing of the road trip that they're currently on at Vogel Watch. Full effect. Like, who knows if he makes it back? I don't know. They might just leave him somewhere on the East Coast. They're going to
leave him there. Yep.
But, it didn't even make me mad because it was so insane. But the way this game started, I don't know if you saw this, Tyler. The opening sequence of this game was stunning. We just fire this up. Okay, so we got Howard on the tip. LeBron, for some reason, hikes the ball to Westbrook. Okay. A little hop, skip, and a jump from Westbrook. Yeah. Okay, they're running it, but we're probably going to get a terrible shot here for no reason. Let's see, we're running the offense. LeBron's still trying to keep the ball moving. Okay, Bradley. Now it's not there. Kick to LeBron. All right, LeBron's going to force one, and that's a brick. Oh, it's cool. Howard got the rebound. Oh, he missed it dunk. And then it flies back out. Oh, we saved it. All right, we're good. Bradley, boom. Kick it back. And now it's out of bounds.
Oh, God.
So what a sequence there from the Washington Generals, a.k.a. the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most prestigious franchises in NBA history. But the good news is this. They are playing the Nets tomorrow night. Okay, that is bad news. But the good news is it's in Brooklyn, which means one Mr. Kyrie Irving is ineligible to play unless they want to take that off. But also Kyrie, yes. Every time he does escape from New York, I think on the last 4-game road trip, it was 25 points a game and 9 assists. So we don't have to deal with that. But maybe let's just not do. Yeah, there was ball movement. I don't know why there was a hike.
That was great ball movement. To be fair, the ball movement was great. Just everything else was not good.
That whole sequence to me, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, dude, they all have just given up." All right, everyone was kind of in Vogel's corner. All right, we're gonna give a good effort after that terrible Utah game. Came back with a win. But now it's just like, all right, screw it, dude. I don't care anymore. Like they're just doing like stunts out there.
Well, I mean, you would know this better than me. I catch occasional Lakers games, highlights, whatever.
I
Like,
don't know why.
I don't think Vogel's the problem, but I mean, the coach is always the fall guy, so of course he's going to be the one gone because
Well, you
LeBron's not getting fired over this.
can't fire the players, and apparently cannot trade Westbrook. Although, God bless them, they're trying. They are trying.
Well, I mean, are they really? Granted, they don't have much to give up, but
they're
again,
trying. But yeah, I mean, unrealistically so.
The assets they have to make this trade aren't like I told you before. It's the offers are like THT, another bench player, and like a 2028 first round pick.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem when you really mortgage everything to build a team around aging LeBron. Is you have like no draft capital at all. I know this thing came out over the weekend. Like, well, they're trying to trade Westbrook for Wall again, which would be funny because they already got traded for each other once.
That actually would be really funny.
In that article, it was like the Rockets are looking for Westbrook and significant draft capital. I'm like, Lakers don't have any. They don't. Even, they can't. They have no draft picks they're even allowed to trade until 2027. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But maybe just trade the whole 2040 decade. Trade them to the Rockets.
Who would have seen this coming? LeBron going to a team and just trading away all the youth and just leaving everything in flames. Who would have seen that coming?
I don't know, dude. All right. Look, again, I'm saying it's all AD's fault. He sucks.
It is all AD's fault. I won't deny it.
Healthy, please, for the love of God. Like, the way the roster is put together, it is dumb. Don't get me wrong. But it's not as dumb if you still have LeBron and AD. But the problem is AD can only play like a month and a half at a time, and then he's out for 2 months.
It is funny. I always his whole career I've bagged on AD for just being like super soft despite having all the tools to be a dominant big man. But then I also realized if he tries to play like a big man, he'll last like 2 weeks and then be out for 2 months.
Well, the good thing is he does not want to play like a big man.
He absolutely refuses
whatever reason. All the people that are his same size that he is way more skilled in, he's like, I don't want to play against them. I'm just going to sit out here and shoot my 18% from 3-point range. Good job. All right, basketball's dead to me. Let's move on to the Premier League. I don't know. I didn't really get to see any of these games. I was following the result of the West Ham game, unfortunately. But I don't know, Tyler, if you got a chance to partake in any of these.
I was able to catch 1 or 2 of the games on Sunday. I only saw highlights of all the games on Saturday. I decided to sleep in instead of watching the West Ham game. Well, probably I say sleep in. I didn't fall asleep till like 6. So, but Villa beating Everton. I mean, Everton is just
reeling.
Cool. They're reeling. They're going to be fighting relegation pretty soon. Meanwhile, Villa's been looking good this year. Obviously, Stevie G taking over.
Stevie G.
Recent addition of Felipe Coutinho is definitely going to help them out. So I like the look of Villa here. Wolves beating Brentford. Not surprised.
Tough one for Brentford, though.
Wolves, they're in the top half, and Brentford's just after that first like month and a half, 2 months, they've been struggling. Not that they're not trying, just I think they've just kind of been figured out. So tough for them. Hopefully they can. I would like to see them stay up this year. They are a fun team to watch.
Agreed. But yeah, I think, and I don't know if it's like they've been found out. It's just kind of like the depth has revealed itself now. Like we're so far into the season where, okay, well, all these other teams have like hundreds, millions of more dollars than you. So like, yes. What are we going to do?
Yeah, so some teams' bench are more expensive than the entirety of Brentford's roster. Newcastle over Leeds, bit surprising there. Newcastle,
big win for Newcastle.
Huge win. Actually, that might have taken them out of relegation. I have to double check the standings again.
Every win is a huge win for Newcastle at this point.
That's true. That's very true. West Ham, man. West Ham, I kind of saw a condensed version of the game. They really didn't look good. I think if you just look at even the stats, I think they were like 70% passing. You controlled the ball. West Ham did, well enough defensively throughout the game, and then just absolutely screwed up at the very end. Gave Man U a breakaway. They scored in the 93rd minute, and the game just immediately ended from there. So They need some new bodies, man. Like, please make some moves. You've got like 9 days left in the transfer window. Please make some moves.
Just please let boys splash the cash a little bit, please. We can go back to the Czech Republic. I'm sure you can find like 5 more dudes.
You're part owned by a Czech guy right now. Like, come on, he would love that.
It's a match made in heaven, dude.
And then big shocker, Southampton getting the draw against City. Normally you want the win at home, draw on the road, but you will take that 1-1 draw against City any day of the week. Definitely, probably the big shocker in the scoreboard on the weekend there. Arsenal Burnley. I actually watched this entire game. Arsenal absolutely should have won this. Like they had so many chances that they just completely bottled. Although there were times where they almost gave it up to Burnley as well, which is shocking because Burnley has 0 attack. But I was just laughing by the end of it. Like Arsenal missed, I think 3 or 4 just wide open shots in the last like 20 minutes.
They just try to walk it in, dude. That's the problem. We all know.
They try to walk it in. Liverpool dominant over Palace. No real surprise there. Leicester and Brighton 1-1. I think that isn't that exactly what we said would happen? I think was 1-1.
I believe yes, actually. Just especially Leicester coming off that just a backbreaker. Coughing up 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of extra time in the 95th and 97th minute. So sort it out, lads. And Chelsea with a nice bounce back at home to Spurs.
Not quite the 5-0 you predicted, but it was a dominant 2-0. I will say that. Spurs were never ready.
Yeah, there we go. Greek 2-2.
It's
essentially the same. But before we get into, because the football was just outrageous this weekend. Insane. The bad parts were wildly entertaining in some way, form, or fashion. So let's take a look at the fights, and that means we must go to the fight doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The heavyweight champion of the world.
For Kaylee to move on. all in this hotel at the
MGM legend, dude. I would play the clip if I didn't think we were going to get banned again for some reason by Sky, who does not own the video.
I does not own that video, but right. Okay.
I don't want to get fired up. Whatever.
But yes, we did have UFC 270 over the weekend. As I mentioned earlier, I haven't gotten to go back and watch all the fights yet. I just saw a few highlights of some of the main card fights and then watched the 2 championship fights. I was distracted by the playoff game going on during the main card. Again, was able to catch the 2 main fights here. Let's go ahead and start with the main event. Heavyweight title, quote, unification, end quote.
Yes.
Francis Ngannou getting the decision victory over Cyril Gane in very surprising fashion. The first 2 rounds came out, and it was just a case of looked like Ngannou was trying to figure out, Gane's movement and timing and couldn't do it. I mean, I had Gane winning the first 2 rounds pretty easily. And then in the 3rd round, Ngannou all of a sudden became Francis Ngannou Madoff and showed off his wrestling, which nobody knew he had. Winds up taking down Cyril Gane multiple times over the 3rd and 4th round, just kind of laying on top, holding him down, putting that big old frame on Gane and making him hold that weight. And then in the 5th round, surprisingly, Gane got the takedown early on in the 5th round against Ngannou. He's on top. He goes for a heel hook, which kind of put him out of position. Ngannou was able to sweep on top, get into a dominant position, stayed there for about 3 minutes out of the round. That gave him the final round, and Ngannou gets the decision win. And we found out, after the fight that Ngannou actually has a torn MCL and possibly a torn ACL, which he suffered in training. Was still able to win the fight. Maybe that explains a little bit why we didn't see the typical, big throwing of punches that we see from Ngannou. But that to me just makes him even more scary. Like, oh, okay, now this guy kind of has
Yeah.
takedowns. Now, I will say this: like those takedowns wouldn't work against somebody that has, some wrestling experience. Like Gon is purely a kickboxer. He trains at a gym that doesn't really feature any wrestling at all. And Ngannou, left that gym and went to Extreme Couture out in Vegas, and that's like just a bunch of animals that know how to wrestle out there. So again, would that work against like Stipe Miocic? Probably not as effective, but still, the fact that he did it and now he has that in his back pocket is already like that just makes him even more terrifying for the future.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of this on my, beloved Russian League. Shout out to Khabib and the homies.
Thanks, Khabib.
Holding it down while I was at the Supercross. But, yeah, Ngannou, we already know, totally got jobbed with the whole interim title thing. Even Gon was kind of like disavowing, like, okay, dude, I guess I'm champion, sort of, but not really. But I feel like his trajectory is just going up and up. And then now we hear about this thing with the injury and the way that he won that fight. Like, we all know about the one punch, like, can end it with Ngannou. But, like, all right, he's adding a couple more wrinkles to it. Seems to be getting a little bit more, like, just well-rounded in general. I'm sure they're probably going to try to well, I don't know. I would ask the fight doctor. What is the next fight here in the heavyweight?
So I'm glad you asked. So obviously he's going to take some time off, get the surgery, heal up, whatnot. Because he is the champion, his contract automatically renews for 1 year or 3 fights. We've seen in the past the UFC, if a guy gets hurt, they are able to kind of delay the additional time on the contract. So it's not, it may not be it ends at the end of this year. It may get pushed back 5-6 months, whatever his healing time takes. But we also know that Ngannou has said, like, I'm not fighting again on my current contract. Like, I remember seeing some statistic about how much money all the fighters on the card combined made this weekend is like 1/10 of what Tyson Fury made in his last fight. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shocking. So Ngannou, again, he's made his intentions clear. Like, I'm not going to fight again on my contract. It's really funny. Dana, in a true Dana White move, didn't even put the belt on Ngannou. Like, he left as soon as the fight ended. Didn't show up to the...
I don't give a fuck.
Sorry. I don't even think he went to the presser afterwards. Like, he just left because he's like, fucking now this guy's still the champ. Like, people are just going to ask me all kinds of questions. I don't even want to deal with it. So I'm curious to see what will happen there. As far as what his next fight should be, I think Gon is going to have another title fight again in the future. Like, don't make this think he's, going to disappear completely. Like, there's a reason he's the number one contender. You could go a Stipe fight. They've won one apiece. So you got a trilogy fight there. You could throw Derek Lewis in there. He's always going to be like a top guy. He's got a win over Ngannou.
Also, he will just take every fight. I don't think he would win that fight, but he will always show up like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. He will physically show up, whether he actually shows up in the fight. We don't know. That's been questionable in the past. But yes, he will sign the contract and he will physically be there. Honestly, Ngannou's next fight might be, a boxing match. Like, I don't know.
He seems pretty like locked in on the boxing thing. Like, I noticed, like, before coming into the fight, it was like a little bit of drama or whatever. Like, he's having it out with Dana, like, about money and stuff like that. But he kind of really softened on that stance, and he's just more been like in the 2 or 3 days right before the fight. He was like, no, I just really do want to box, though. Like, I've always wanted to box. That's something I want to do before I'm like, can't do it anymore. So he might just be serious about that. I don't know. And also, look at the money. Like, look at the money these guys are getting for whatever weird stunt fights are going on in boxing. So,
yeah, like, the ball's really in his court. Like, as mad as Dana wants to get, like, if Ngannou doesn't want to fight, he's not going to fight, and he can easily, like Mick says here, I'm sure he can make a nice payday going fighting for Triller. People will watch it. So, yeah, I could totally see, again, Ngannou sitting out and Dana just having to make another interim title.
Another one.
Probably between Gon and, again, either Lewis or Stipe. Which is unfortunate because, heavyweight division, again, it's like there's like 4 guys and then a huge gap and then everybody else.
I do kind of like the scenario where, all right, this time, yes, there's an injury, and obviously Gon is kind of mulling over his future if he wants to stay doing, MMA or not. But the idea of he leaves for like 2 or 3 months before he fights again, and it's like, all right, oh, dude, now Lewis is interim champ. Gon was interim champ last time. Now Stipe is interim champ. Like, what the hell's going on? And then every time Ngannou just comes back and wins and then doesn't fight for like 6 months.
So that happened when Brock Lesnar was champion. I think he was the heavyweight champ, and I think there were 3 times he fought an interim champ because he like got hurt or just didn't fight for like 6 months. So that's not unprecedented, particularly in the heavyweight division. So I could definitely see that happening. But like I said, unless Dana forks out the money, which he's not going to fucking do, this might be the last time we see Ngannou in the UFC.
Well, I hope not, but it does seem more realistic than I think some people realize.
But so we had that, and then we also had the co-main event here, a flyweight title fight where Davison Figueiredo regains the flyweight championship against Brandon Moreno. Hell of a fight here. It's just real fun. 5-round fight. Could have gone either way. I know in our text thread, the fight for Bonomus and I were talking. We both had it 48-47 for Moreno. Judges saw it the other way. I can't be mad at it because a lot of the rounds were super close. I kind of figured Moreno won it because the last 2 rounds, Figueiredo, up until the last 30 seconds of the 5th round, Figueiredo did nothing the last 2 rounds. Like, he literally was just stalling for time. Moreno wasn't doing much, but he was attacking. He was landing some punches. But hell of a fight here. I mean, these guys, now they're 1-1-1. Fucking run it back. Like, why not? Yeah. These two are the class of. And look, the flyweight division is a lot of fun, a lot of great talent there. But these two are the class of it. So run it back. Let somebody get the decisive victory.
And I would say too. I mean, I did see a little bit of this as well on Russian Link, but as you and Phlebotomist said, 48-47. At least you could see the judges scoring there, 47-48 across the board. At least there wasn't just like, some cowboy that was like 45. What the hell, dude? Get out of here. So, it was a close fight. Like, this is one of those ones that I could see it both ways,
Oh, no, absolutely. Like I said, when the judges made the decision, I was just kind of like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, again, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to scream robbery. Like, they were all pretty close rounds. So, Moreno, nothing to hang his head about. I thought he fought well. Again, these guys can fight 100 times. It'll go 50-50. Like, they're all going to be exciting fights. So, I'm not usually one for, just 2 guys like constantly going back and forth and like kind of holding up the division. But I wouldn't have a problem if you ran the back and forth time.
Well, when we get to the Moreno Figueiredo, the quintilogy fight, I don't even know what number that is. I guess it would be 5. I don't know. When we get to like the 11th rematch.
Yes. The octology.
Once and for all. Moreno Figueiredo 12 coming to pay-per-view soon.
But yeah, again, those are the only 2 fights I got to see, in its entirety. I do plan on going back and watching the rest of the main card at some point in time. But I enjoyed what I saw from what I saw in the results here. We did have some finishes in the earlier fights, so something to possibly go back and check on. Like, on paper, this wasn't a good card, but I enjoyed what I saw. So props to the UFC for that one.
Hey, and shout out to Dana, dude, because seats up at the top of the top bowl was like $500. So damn it.
Yeah, it's UFC gonna UFC. Dana gonna Dana.
Well, it's whatever he's doing, it's still working. So can't really bash him for that.
You know what he's not doing, though? You know what he's not doing? Cocaine. Not doing cocaine.
That's a fact. I mean, you could test it right now. Moving on to the showpiece, the centerpiece of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We had 2.
Cricket, baby. Yeah. Oh, what?
Oh, dude, I don't know about cricket. I mean, it was you want to take the cricket segment, maybe we can Skype in the Baron right now. But that's all you guys. Wild weekend of NFL football. Again, a little bit of, well, 2 parts for me. Because of the super wild card, which, again, the Raiders were a benefactor of. And their game wasn't a blowout, but there was some pretty, like, shitty games. All right? It is what it is. But now we're getting down to, like, the meat, the good teams. Even the games that kind of look like they were skewing towards a blowout for good reasons and bad ended up not being blowouts. Wildly entertaining weekend of football. And part 2, the refs didn't totally fuck up. The refs were super annoying on super wild card weekend. But I guess now you just get down to the cream, you know? Like, all right, we only got like 2 good teams of refs. Like, let's just be honest. They're not full time.
I thought the refs were really good this weekend, and I honestly, I wonder if that was an edict coming down from Goodell, like, hey, look, you guys went wild last week, and maybe kind of dial it back a little bit.
Don't mess up, all right? For the benefit of the new guys.
That's right.
But let's take a look at it here. So Saturday we had the parlay crusher for many people, including myself. The Bengals and Joey B getting it done against the always resolute Titans also, who have just been winning games. I mean, they were the number 1 seed, which if you look at the team on paper, you're just like, how? How is this happening?
Oh, yeah.
Noah Henry, 1,000 guys are hurt. They just keep bringing in guys, keep winning these games. Like, super impressive season for them. I'm obviously disappointed. You know, I'm sure dealing with that, and we will get into the Tannehill thing shortly. But
Vrabel's dick stays intact for another year.
That is good. That's good for him and his spouse, I'm sure. But dude, Joe Burrow, dude, he's a dude.
Legit. He is legit.
This was the first. Also, there was a running theme throughout the weekend of just defensive lines just kicking the ass out of every offensive line in front of them.
Oh, my God.
Pretty much every team. And I just thought it was amazing. Like, all right, I already knew he was balling, okay? And big game Joe, you know, like national championship. Like, he doesn't turn the ball over. He just gets it done, like figures out a way. But if you get sacked 9 times and you're 25 years old and like the furthest you've ever been in the NFL playoffs, like, I would think most people would just turtle up and just like, all right, dude, I don't want it anymore. And he just kept coming back for more, and he got it done, dude.
Yeah, I think I had texted you guys over the weekend, like, you know how at the end of the year, NFL quarterbacks will buy their offensive line like some really expensive gifts. That offensive line needs to buy him like something crazy because they are doing that man no favors whatsoever. Like, he got sacked 9 times, but he had somebody in his face every single play. Like, their offensive line is better than it was last year, but they're still not good. Like, and I just can't help but think, like, man, if they shore up that offensive line, this Bengals team is fucking terrifying.
That's the dangerous thing, yeah, because, I mean, it seems like they got the offense pretty well settled with Burrow, obviously, at the helm.
Their 3 receivers.
1, 2, 3, like
Rudy in the back.
Put that up against like any 3, unit wide receivers. Good tight end play. Mixon, also P. Ryan, that guy's a freaking beast. Also, him just getting shoved to the ground was amazing by Simmons. Simmons just went absolutely like animal mode. Like, Simmons was wrecking the game. That was wildly impressive to watch.
He's a dude as well.
But like when he did that to P. Ryan, I was like, dude, that fool is like big for an NFL running back. Like, he's like 6 foot almost. Like, he's got to be 5'10", 5'11". Like, he's not one of these little guys, and he's probably running like 240, 250. And he just like shoved him in the back like a little kid, just like, boom, just get off my plane. But dude, Burrow is the truth. Like, he's gonna be around for a long time. So I'm happy for that as a Steeler hater, even though you guys assume I'm a Steeler fan.
He's not been a long time if he's getting sacked 9 times a game.
Well, so we shore up the line, all right? We shore up the line, and it's all good, dude. But no, wildly impressive. cautiously optimistic. I'm just going on the side of like, hey, dude, maybe they don't know any better. Like they're not supposed to be here. I'm not optimistic about them going into Kansas City and winning, but who knows? They're playing with house money right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, like I'm with you. Look, he's so damn fun to watch. That offense is just wildly entertaining. Defense is solid too. Obviously, they did a really good job of containing Derrick Henry. I'm blanking on the Titans' backup running back, but I mean he kind of went off, but he also only touched the ball 4 times. Which that's kind of going to come back to the other side of the ball, which is so many of Tennessee's play calling decisions. Like they overthought the hell out of this game. They absolutely played themselves. A lot of really questionable decisions. Obviously, Tannehill throwing 3 picks doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
That's how you negate 9 sacks is by throwing 3 picks.
True.
You had was that the first quarter or the start of the second when they finally scored their touchdown and then went for 2 for some reason, which like when you look at it, you take the 1, now you're up 17-16 late in the game. Just
some of it didn't really surprise me because they were trying to get Henry going as his first game back.
Sure.
To me, at a certain point, it just kind of felt like maybe he just doesn't have the sea legs yet. Like we got to get the other guy going, like something that can sustain a drive. But I get it, like dance with the one that brought you kind of thing. Like this is our guy. Like if we get him going, if he pops off in the fourth quarter, it's all worth it. But
their run game, even when Henry was gone during the season, was great. And like I said, he had 4 carries for 80. Like he had more yardage in those 4 carries than Henry did all game.
Yeah.
But they tried to pass it a lot in situations where maybe you could have ran the ball. There was that 3rd and 1 play where it was 3rd and 1 and they tried to have Tannehill run the ball for the first down. I was like why would you even consider that?
And then they get backed up and then they try to force it to Henry again when it's 4th and 5 or whatever and he gets stuffed in the backfield. But it just seemed like Henry could not get off the first guy. Like he didn't have that first burst. Like if he gets the first guy, all right, then it's going to take 3 more guys to get him. But he never showed that in the whole game.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to completely. Obviously, Tannehill's going to deserve a lot of criticism. Like he also had that ridiculous throw and catch to AJ Brown for the touchdown late in the game, just absolute dime. And I still don't know how Brown caught that one. But just like I said, I watched the game. I was just like, man, Tennessee is just overthinking this. Like they're shooting themselves in the foot. And again, I mean, Joey B, he's a dude. Give him a chance. He's gonna fucking make plays happen, and he did it. And that was the first 1 seed that went down in the day. So, man.
And shout out to freaking McPherson too, with Sam Cassell status, dude. He just swagged out there and nailed a 50-yarder to win it.
Yeah, didn't he tell Joe Burrow in the locker room hey, we're gonna fucking win this game?
No, it was they were coming off the field, and
that's what
I saw him on Dan Patrick today, and he was I wasn't talking to Joe, but I saw him coming by, so just for fun, I made the comment to my holder looks like we're about to win this game, boys, because I knew he would overhear it, and obviously everyone rallies behind that, and of course he nails it. And hey. We know this guy's also a dude. He went shot for shot with Diamond Dan Carlson, the leading scorer in SEC history. So
this is true. That's absolutely it just means more, man. It just means more.
It means more. War Eagle. Shout out to Rob.
War damn Eagle.
War damn Eagle. But Bengals, like you said, if they just shore up the offensive line, it seems like everything else is kind of there. The secondary, could probably use some help there too. But beyond that, I mean, your offense is good. Obviously, special teams, you got a kicking game that is pretty locked down with a young, confident kicker. Yikes. That's all circling back to the sadness that I have. Dude, we don't get in the playoffs a lot, Raiders. We kind of blew it. We might not get back here for a long time.
Yeah, AFC is looking pretty wild, right?
And the West.
The West especially, yes.
Watch freaking Rodgers go to freaking Broncos.
God, please don't.
Extend Drew Lock. He is the franchise.
20 years, $6 billion. Do it. Worth
Do the right
everything.
thing.
Give him majority ownership of the team.
speaking of Aaron Rodgers, let's
Ooh,
go on to the
boy.
next game. And tough look, scoring 10 points at home in a divisional playoff game at
Seven of
Lambeau
those
Field.
points being 7 of those points being the opening drive.
Yeah. But the 49ers are looking pretty real, dude. I mean, all their points were off special teams. They just came for this is going to be a cold, shitty game, and we're about that action. And they won.
Yeah, I know I can sympathize with Packers in the sense that, special teams has been the bane of their existence this season. As a Chargers fan, I know that pain all too well. No other team has had the number one offense and defense in the league and missed the playoffs, all because their special teams were otherworldly bad. But that's a lot of the talk is about their special teams bad. Their special teams are bad. Like, bro, you scored 10 points, and 7 of them on the opening. You marched clinically down the field that opening drive, and then did nothing the rest of the game. Like,
with the guy that's probably still going to be MVP also, like at quarterback. Yes. Like, we all know Rodgers is like what he could do. Like, sometimes it's like, hey, there's no way he can make that throw. He makes the throw. You would think it could put up more than 10 points, but
yeah, it's just I did see somebody else make the point that, like, Green Bay, they've had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks over the course of 30 years, and they have 2 championships to show for it. Like, that's
yikes.
That's brutal, man. That is rough. I mean, look, it's a hard league to win once. I understand that, but, like, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks with multiple MVPs and 30 years and 2 championships, that's not a good formula. That's pretty rough.
We'll see what happens to Rodgers. I still am of the belief that he should not leave the Packers, because pretty much like a free path to almost the 1 seed every year playing in that division, because you're probably just going to beat up on all those teams for a while. Yeah. Although, just wait till Motor City Dan gets his guys in there, then it's a wrap.
It's over, yeah.
Detroit domination. But no, just surprising, like, low offensive output for the Packers. I mean, you look at the score here. If you're the 49ers, like, going into the game, even if they lost 13-10, you'd be like, they got it right where they want it. Like, this is like a slowed down game. They got to Rodgers a lot without even blitzing. I mean, Bosa is a freaking animal. Their whole, like, just front defensively is really good. Kind of like what we saw, with the Rams giving the Bucks problems. We'll get to that game next. But if you can touch the quarterback without having to blitz, that's like free money, because then you can leave all these guys back there to make it harder for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing what the Niners have been able to do these first 2 rounds with, like, only rushing 4 people. Like, it's just insane how their defensive line is just killing everybody. Jimmy G, again, didn't need to be much.
He never needs to be much. He just needs to not be bad.
The offense is designed basically just like, as long as you don't screw up, we will be in a position to win. Which I think is hilarious when your boy Scraby's over there on Twitter, like, all year, like, trying to big up Jimmy G, and then, like, these 2 weeks in the playoffs, he's like, ooh, that's not good. Like, he's not playing too good. But again, they don't need him to. It's kind of like, Peyton in his last year in Denver. Like, we just need you to be serviceable.
Yeah, just don't cost us the game, and then the rest of the guys got it, all right? That's all you got to do. Hand it off. Sometimes we'll have you throw it like 10 yards, but chill out. Don't get crazy. Don't do like a punt like you try to do the Cowboys twice.
We need you to throw it 10. Don't throw it 12.
No, anything by that. Yeah, just go down, dude. Just take the sack. Even if no one's touching you, just turtle.
But, going back to Green Bay, I did see this on Pat McAfee today. It's just it's really going to be weird to see where Green Bay is at now. Just seeing, like, how they have no cap space. I mean, obviously the Saints out there dominating everybody on the what the fuck are you doing salary situation, but Packers are right there, and they've got just a laundry list of free agents this year, including the fucking guy that, again, Ron always talks about on their offense, Devontae Adams, the
coming up, Fresno State legend.
Yeah, he's coming up, and I imagine if Rodgers isn't there, he's probably not going to want to be there. So, hey,
I think that's mutual too. Like, if one leaves, that's like for sure Rodgers will be like, "Well, I'm out," and then if Rodgers is out, Adams will be like, "I'm not going back there."
Hey, Adams, you want a good quarterback? I mean, look at that. Look at that second team on the list that's got plenty of payroll to burn. I'm just saying.
Now come to Vegas, dude. Come to Vegas. Anything you want. Anything you want.
That's sure. In Vegas, you can't get anything you want at any time.
I mean,
But
within
yeah.
reason, though. Come on, please. Like, let's not have another outrageous situation here. But he seems like a
Well,
pretty chill guy.
He does seem like a chill guy. But yeah, I'm just like, Green Bay is just, it's one of those teams that you always expect to see at the top, but then like you see their current cap situation and all the free agents, and it's like they might kind of hit like a real few years here. Like who knows how Jordan Love only got to play like once this year, and he didn't look good. But again, give that guy time. You can't judge him off of one game.
Also, before we take this off the screen, can we just address the Giants being on that list? And for what, Giants? And for what? You guys are in a total shambles.
That is true. I'm looking at that and I'm trying to think, who the fuck are they paying to where they're like in that much trouble in cap space?
Even the top four, like the four teams above them, like disappointing results, whatever their current stature, like they're all way better than the Giants. Like, how did you even get on this list, dude? What is going on?
Like the Giants should be on the left list.
Yeah, like this is all right. We got to rebuild. This is gonna take like 3 years, but no, we can't because for some reason all our shitty players make a ton of money.
Also, Bengals, you want to shore up that offensive line, you got fucking money to do it.
The money is there, but also
that's fucking terrifying.
They are a little averse, shall we say, to spending money with their lack of an indoor practice facility. Their press conferences under a bridge.
If you don't have an indoor facility, spend that money on the fucking offensive line.
That's how they pass the savings on to you. Yeah, come on. Let's get some big guys out there to block for Joey B. Can have a dynasty on your hands.
Yeah, Jaime, asking the right questions. What are they?
Well, small sodas, dude.
Yeah, medium sodas. Thank you. Medium sodas.
That's right. Those do not come cheap.
Only for the name on the account, not for every seat. But
they saw the writing on the wall. They were like, "Oh shit, dude." I mean, normally we give out, beanies or something, but now medium sodas, dude. It's getting real. It's getting real financially. In fact, on the point of getting real, I did want to just add that I added this as a drop.
And you motherfuckers want to laugh? It's just fucking real.
Hell yes.
So the Giants they're going through it, dude. A lot of long looks in the mirror, dude. Long looks in the mirror for the Giants franchise right now.
Genuinely, I'm racking my brain trying to think, like, where is that money? Like, what?
I don't have it.
It's at Phil house and Fred's house.
What are you doing with my money in your house, Fred? Well, on to much more fortunate franchises. Let's move on to the Sunday window, shall we say. This game was also, it just got high for a while. Like what is going on? The Rams were just boat racing them. Brady even for the whole game, he never really kind of got going. Yes, they're kind of down some weapons on offense, but the Rams jumped way out and then just kind of did like the Niners last week against the Cowboys. Just like, what do we have to do to give this game back to you? Like every possible turn was like, everything that was going, like the snap to Stafford where he's just like not ready for it, like the fumbling down on like the 2-yard line, like maybe they don't want to win, like I don't know.
3 fumbles by the running back. Like the Rams did everything they could to get Tampa back in the game, but for the longest time Tampa refused to get back in the game as well. Like it wasn't until those last couple drives of the fourth quarter where they were just like, we still can't move the ball. Like we're getting the ball back and we're just not doing anything with it.
In the words of the great Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. We can also bungle this. And bungle they did. Because also the super glaring thing to me was, especially given the game situation both times, just totally like losing track of Cooper Kupp, like the best receiver in the NFL. Like,
I knew we forgot to cover somebody.
That guy. I forgot about that guy. Yeah, like the guy that has the triple crown. Also, like the most yards after catch in anyone in the league this year. Like, if anything, just put him in a phone booth and leave like 2 guys wide open, and then figure the rest out. Like, how do you lose him The first one was 3rd and 20, and he hit for like a 50-yard touchdown. He was just standing alone, like caught the ball 30 yards down the field, outran 2 guys into the end zone, and then of course Tampa Bay ties the game, and he gashes them again. They lose him, and boom, there it is. They go down, get the field goal.
So I'm gonna draw a comparison to the next game about that, but that pass to Cooper Kupp, like, anybody that's watched this ever and has probably ever talked about football at all knows I fucking hate prevent defense. If there was ever a time to use it, that was it for Tampa. Like, the Rams had no timeouts and had to move 70 yards downfield, and instead they run a blitz package. The safety for whatever reason,
one speed, full
that's
speed,
true,
and we're
all the
blitzing
way.
every time.
You run a blitz package, and your safety lets Cooper Kupp get behind him. Like, that is Jack Frost level, like NOR level. Like, late in the game, if you're a defensive back, your one rule is, hey, don't let this guy get behind me. And you let Cooper Kupp get behind you. Amazing pass from Stafford. Fantastic. Just dropped it on a dime. They get way downfield and they kick the game-winning field goal, which also both teams had missed field goals previously, including the Rams coming short on like a 45-yard field goal, which I don't think I've ever seen in the NFL.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. Like, no mention of the weather. And then it's like, dude, I think he got it. And they're like, no good. I was like, what? Then they show it again, and it's like 3 yards short of the crossbar. I was like, dang. Wow. Okay.
So apparently, football fan going to the rule book for us on how this game got so close. There, it's apparently you're not allowed to beat Tom Brady by more than 4 points.
Hey, shout out to Tom Brady getting his first personal foul, though.
That's true. Hey,
always a milestone. Every Brady game, it's like, breaking another record. So,
but yeah, just like this game was super exciting because both teams just made it, again. You made the great comparison, just like the Niners Cowboys game the week before. Both teams made the dumbest decisions possible, and that's what made this game so damn exciting.
It drives you a little crazy, even as not a fan of either team, when it's just like, dude, you have it like this, and then you're just like, like, oh, dude, we're just totally start screwing up and just trying to give it away. But it made it a little exciting at the end. Got to hear that on the radio as I was picking up CEO Nick from the airport. But
made it exciting, and how about this? We get an NFC West matchup in the NFC Championship.
That's true. 2 games for SoFi left in the season. So on to the nightcap, which was wildly entertaining.
Oh my God!
A lot of thoughts on this. I thought the Chiefs were going to blow them out. For a little while, it looked like that might happen, but just kind of, fussing around at the beginning. And then it just went to Mahomes, Allen, like shot for shot. Like it just went to, like, we are seeing probably the best quarterback played game I've ever seen. Like, both of them, anytime they touch the ball, just like dimes or breaking off runs, like they can't be stopped. Like, whoever has the ball last is going to win. And that's what happened.
Yeah, just absolute insanity. Amazing performance from both guys. I mean, like, what else is there to say? You're right. Like, kind of for a while, it was close. Then in the early of the second half, Kansas City kind of started to pull away a little bit. And it was like, oh, fuck, I've seen this. We've both seen this before, Lord knows.
2 times a season, every year. God.
Yeah, right, yeah. We're signed up for that for another, 13 years now, I think?
Except for last year when we circled the stadium and,
that's true.
The Raiders Stadium East, but whatever.
That's true. But, I mean, yeah, absolute insanity. Just in Gabriel Davis, have yourself a day, young man. I mean, did the Chiefs just refuse to cover him entirely? They were just like, all right, Diggs isn't going to beat us. We don't care about anything else. But
that, to me, is so much more forgivable than, like I was saying about the Tampa Rams game. Like, the one guy that you do not lose track of is Kupp. Like, are we all agreed on that? Okay, good. Go out there. Just someone keep eyes on him at all time. And they just dropped the ball twice at, like, huge moments of the game.
And no, they don't slide and fireball. You get run out of the city if you do that.
Nah, dude. Nah. He's trying to run right through your face.
But of course, all the talk is, into the game. Buffalo makes a crazy drive, takes lead with 13 seconds left. Sorry. and then they elect not to squib kick it out of the back of the end zone. There's a part of that I do understand, because now you're keeping the ball out of Tyreek Hill's hands, because if that guy gets any momentum, like, he's gone. So there's a part of me that does understand
several times during the game too, where it's almost like, all right, I hate this guy and I hate the Chiefs, but when you see it happen, you're just like, it's like a cheat code, dude. Like, he's running away from every other NFL player on the field who is like Olympic level athletes. Okay.
He did that. He did that on the touchdown before Buffalo took the lead. When Kansas City took the lead, like, it was just a pass to him in the middle, and then he just like ran straight. He gave the peace sign to a DB while he was in front of him and still ran past him. Like, absolute insanity. But so now the Chiefs have the ball. They need to get 75 yards, 3 timeouts, and Buffalo goes into a prevent defense. That is not the time you do it. That is not the time you do a prevent defense.
Not only that, but the prevent that they did, it was like, why are we playing the sideline? Like, all they need is the middle of the field. They have 3 timeouts. So, yes, 13 seconds, but like 3 timeouts with Mahomes, with Kelsey, with Hardman, with Hill. Like, all these guys need to do is catch like a 4-yard pass, and it becomes 25 yards. Like, and they only need to kick a field goal. Like, really, like, or it's overtime. Then it's just like, already, by that point, it's like already out of control. Like, they can just get whatever they want. But like, at the end of regulation with the 13 seconds, like, they just need a field goal. You need to protect the entire field. Like, you cannot play the sideline. Like, it's too easy for them. And they can get down and take a timeout or get out of bounds.
You also need to actually cover Kelsey. Like, they literally let Kelsey free in the middle of the field. Like, what was that? I think it wound up being a 25, 26-yard gain with like nobody within 10 yards of him. Like,
and even, Romo Stradamus was like, I would just throw it to Kelsey in the middle of the field and see what happens. And then boom, immediately they do that. Big chunk in the middle of the field, timeout. Okay, cool, boom, another one. All right, now we're going to win the game.
Yeah, so they do it in less than 13 seconds. They go, what was it, 40 some odd yards, I think they went, and then they kick the field goal to go into overtime, which that's also been the major talking point. They win the coin toss in overtime, and just clinically, just like 7 plays straight down the field, game-winning pass to Travis Kelsey. They get the win. That, again, like I said, that's kind of been the big talking point is NFL overtime rules, which I think we all agree, like, look, it fucking sucks that it's determined essentially by a coin toss.
10-1. 10-1, the team that wins the coin toss. I was going to say games.
So we do have that there from Ian Rappaport that, in the playoffs, the team that wins the coin toss is 10-1, including 7 of those being walk-offs on the first possession. Look, you'll get no argument from me. Yes, the Bills defense fucked up. Like, yes, they did. But 2 things can be true. The overtime rules need to be changed because, like, the fact that it's so often won on a coin toss is ridiculous. And then I know people will make the argument like, well, your defense should have made a stop. Well, the other team's defense didn't have to make a stop. So, like, I think that's kind of like the point of the argument is, why are you telling us to one team when it wouldn't even apply to the other team? So
there'll probably be some tweaks to it, or like, they'll take a look at it. Like I said, one thing that the NFL is good at is constantly trying to, especially things that happen in the playoffs that are like glaring, like, dude, why is it this way? Like, the next year you will see it change somehow. Like, not always for the best. Like when we had the video pass interference thing, that sucked. The tuck rule. Yes. But they're trying, so they will like address it and do something. But, and I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans make the argument, which is true. If it went the other way, the Bills fans wouldn't be making a big deal about it. But also the Chiefs did have the same thing happen to them against the Patriots, and they petitioned the league to change it. It's just kind of the nature of the game. And I just thought in this game specifically, even setting aside my Chiefs hatred, whoever won, I feel like, and the Chiefs definitely deserved to win. Mahomes was amazing in that game, but and just like it felt like the whole dread that you always have of playing the Chiefs, like just when they needed it, it just came out. Like, all right, we're just gonna flick the switch on here, and we can just get whatever we need. Like, there's always that threat with them because they just have so many guys for him to throw the ball to. and he can extend the play and do everything that he can do. But I just wanted to see Allen. It was like such a good duel, like it was like boom, all right, now we scored, now you showed me the what you say, like it was just back and forth, like boom, headshot, boom, headshot for you, back and forth, like it was awesome. And it was just like kind of a burst the bubble a little bit to like, it really ended like that. Like I feel like this could have went on for, like maybe just do like a 10-minute overtime and see what happens.
Yeah, like it's hard to make the same comparison to basketball, but I almost felt like it was like if we could have gotten like the 96 Bulls and the 2000 8 Lakers, and like by the end of the game it's just the only two guys that ever have the ball are Jordan and Kobe. That's it, and they're just going back and forth,
1-on-1. Yeah,
ISO. That's kind of what it felt like. But I mean, yeah, just fantastic game, and like you just got to think like. We got Mahomes, we got Allen, we got Burrow. I would add Herbert, but the Chargers are always going to find a way to charger it, so maybe that takes him right out of the equation.
I would add Herbert before I would add Carr, because I was going to say we got Carr, who's like a guy.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
And that's the problem. He's perfectly fine, but he's not really good at anything.
Yeah. But that's the four dudes that I think back 10 years ago when it was Brady, Manning, Ben, and Rivers. Like honestly, I feel like these four could probably match up better than those four did. If that makes any sense.
I agree, and it's still, just across the board, like it seems like there's some busts, Johnny Manziel, he's kind of like a wild card, but like Lamar Jackson is what, like 25 still, probably. Like,
did you mean Baker Mayfield?
Wow, he's the next one. But
so it's
maybe he's not.
Manziel's not in the league.
No, I was just saying like the hype that was surrounding him when he came in. But the young quarterbacks come in and they're actually kind of good. Like I'm not, not going to write off even Lawrence. Like all the insanity with the Urban Meyer thing. And
Lawrence could still be
they
good.
Have all the money. We saw the chart.
The money.
Yeah, the money. But
Zach Smith, like if they ever get, like he showed promise.
It seems like the young quarterbacks come in way more ready to go now. Like, and yes, drafting a quarterback that high, I think the risk is not as much as it used to be. Like there was a stigma to it. Like you got to hit on this, but most of the time, even if it's not like a, all pro guy, they're pretty damn good. So like this new crop of quarterbacks, especially in a game where it's way more throwing now, watch out, because you would think like, all right, I want a veteran guy. I need Rodgers, I need Brady, Rivers, someone like that back there. But no, these like the young guys just don't give a shit. Like they're just like,
Marlowe's. They're Marlowe's, man.
Savages.
I think it's really funny you brought that up, because the other day I watched a video from 2018 or 2019, whatever year it was, the year that Josh Allen, came out in the draft. It was a video from The Ringer, and they were breaking down like the 7 first-round quarterbacks, and every single one of them was like Allen, like no, like not Allen, he sucks, blah blah blah, and everybody was all in on Josh Rosen, and I was like, oh, that did not age well.
Well, here's the difference. One is country strong, and one of them. Oh, well, I had the video here ready, but he was watching that game from the stands last year. We all saw it. Got him a ring, though. Get you one of these.
But no, you're right, man. Just this young crop of quarterbacks, they're all super exciting, super talented. So, yeah, it's just like the next 10 years, just with those four guys alone, makes the AFC just ridiculously exciting.
Well, especially as a Raider fan, it makes it very not exciting, because it seems like everyone has a younger and better quarterback than ours.
Maybe Rodgers goes to your Raiders.
I doubt it. He seems too reasonable to do that. He's kind of a weirdo, but like, I don't even think he's that crazy. Come on. Like all this, where they had the next coaching odds for the Raiders, and Tomlin was like second, like plus 300. I was like,
no.
why would you leave like the most stable franchise in the NFL that I hate?
Yeah.
But partly out of jealousy because they always get good again, like within
They're
2 years.
they're never bad for 2 years in a row.
And then why would you just go to like the insanity that is forever the Raiders? You would not do that. No one should do that. He should not do that. As much as I would want that, he should not do that.
Also, I did forget. I saw this tweet and it made me laugh here about there was some argument that maybe if the Bills were at home, this would have been different. Whatever. So the Jaguars' 3 wins this year kept the Colts out of the playoffs, kept the Dolphins out of the playoffs, and kept the Bills from the 2 seed. So shout out Jags.
Jags on the rise, and again, they got some money to spend.
Plenty
so
of
watch
plenty
out.
of money. Shad Khan can open up that checkbook.
Just a little wax on that mustache, and boom, you got 5 more free agents in there. Also, we didn't get to bring this up. I kind of glossed over it, so I apologize. But yeah, you could see the end of this game was
looking like
wow.
an EKT.
Look, even as someone that was desperately rooting against the Chiefs and always does desperately root against the Chiefs.
True.
What was it? The 25 points scored in like the last 5 minutes of the game. Like that's an instant classic kind of game. And that's the only reason why it just leaves that little like, can we just get like, let's just see Allen get the ball one more time. Like we got an old fashioned like shootout right now. Like, let's just see what happens.
Well, I remember seeing the stats, something like from the 2-minute warning through the end of overtime, like Mahomes was like 11 of 13 for like 200 yards, something like that. Like, just absolutely insanity.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem dealing with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great seeing them twice a year.
Like, as if Mahomes already was not good enough. You have to think too when it gets to that situation, and he knows like the defense is kind of going to be like on pins and needles. He's like, dude, I got like 8 guys I could throw the ball to. We got this. We're good.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
It's pretty sweet, yeah. But Raiders going to win the Super Bowl next year, so don't worry about it.
That game will be at Alliance too, right?
I think it might be the year after.
Is it 2 years from now there? Okay, it might be.
So.
Yeah.
Either way, well, they'll win that one too. But
first back-to-back champs since what, the Patriots? I think in the early 2000s, something like that.
Book it right now. Comes full circle. We created the Patriots dynasty, and now we will overtake them. Start the new dynasty. Mariota's going to win like 8 Super Bowls. That's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah. There we go then. So it's written, so it shall be.
So it shall be. But even as much as it was personally spiteful to me, that was a great game, a classic game. Unfortunate, I wouldn't even, the rules are the rules, but just anticlimactic, But hey, Tony Danza.
Hey, that's a guy.
Hey, that's my guy, my cousin Tony.
That's right.
But thank you all for joining us as always. We'll see about Wednesday's show. I'm still kind of up in the air on that, but for sure we will be back Friday. Probably Wednesday too. And that's all I got. Tyler, anything else you want to go out on here?
Nah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments. Like maybe a show Wednesday. If not, we'll be here to preview the championship weekend on Friday. So definitely look forward to that. But no, we love you guys. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Go Bengals, for the love of God.
Please, man.